Hey guys, it's Little Candy here, and I put in a little poll on the ScarletMC Discord, even though I have my current Discord that I posted about a week or two ago coming up here this week, because I finally finished everything. Anyways, the poll stated, would y'all like me to talk about the ScarletMC server and its history? And it was a very overwhelming yes. So here I am. This is going to be very different from what I usually do. So I will go back from the beginning. That way all my bases are covered and we have an entire story on this. So here we go. So back in 2019, I got back on the Discord after making my account in 2018 in school. 2019, I was ending school for high school, and I got back on because I had nothing else better to do at the time. I had to leave my first job, which wasn't a very good job at all. So I left there. I was out of work for like a month, but that's besides the point. I got back on because I was like, Discord, why not try it again? And I tried it again. I met a couple friends at the beginning, which I'm still friends with them now. We don't talk as much, but I still consider us friends. They may think differently, but I still see us as friends. And we just started hanging out, started talking, and we started talking about Minecraft. Well, I used to play Minecraft a lot. Like, I've played Minecraft since version 1.8 came out. That shows how long I've been playing Minecraft. I have like a ton of playtime hours on Minecraft alone. So we started talking, and I'm like, why don't we just do a server? And this was the end of 2019, going into 2020. I go to my friends, I'm like, hey, we should just do a server. Just me, two other friends. They thought it was a good idea, so I became the original owner. They were telling me how to set everything up because they knew how to do all that stuff. I didn't know how to do any of this. Like, I was fresh out of high school. I got a business class degree, but I didn't know how to run a Minecraft server. So we went and we bought a VPS, which is a hosting service where you can host it from your actual internet from the website, and you would need like an actual provider, like kind of like Pebble Host, Apex Hosting, Bisector Hosting, or Bisect Hosting, I think is what it is. No, I'm not sure, but like those providers. We used a VPS, which I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do any of this, but they walked me through it and all that, and it was pretty cool. And got everything set up, bought the first IP. The original server that I used to own was subvoid.net. Obviously, it's no longer a server. That was my original server. It started out with me and my friends. So we'd play, and one of my friends came out to me. He's like, hey, we should make this into a server. Like, invite other people, start putting the community out there. I'm like, I'm down with it. So I went, we created the roles, we created our own Discord server, and I was owner. The one friend of mine was developer, and the other friend, he was one of my managers. I was like, okay, now we got a small little team. We don't have much other of a team. We need builders and all that. We had a few builders along the way, but we had a small team, got everything done, and we grew. We grew up to 300 on the Discord, and around 150 was active, and that was pretty cool. Like, that was my first server ever to make it that big. Like, I didn't even know what to do. And then some unfortunate stuff happened. The developer, which was one of my friends, but no longer is, decided to kind of ruin the server. He took the files needed for the server, and unfortunately, I did not create backups as often as I should have. So I had like old backups from like the beginning of the server, and the server was like a year into it in 2020, like the middle of 2020, and it just kind of went snowballed from there, wound down, shutting down Subvoid, and just never went back to it for a while. We kind of parted ways. I kept in touch with my other friends from that, of course, and I just started like doing my own thing on Discord. I created my own independent server just to kind of hang out with friends and make new ones along the way. And by that time, we were coming up on 2022, I believe it was. And it was a weird time around that time. Like, no, it was 2021, my bad. I had to look this up really quick. 2021, August 27th, 2021, the day before my birthday, is when I started becoming very big active on Discord. Like, before, I was like helping out on other servers. I was manager, moderator on other servers. Pytheric was one of my other servers that I helped manage. Hynix, MC. I'm still friends with the owner, which really good guy. He really knows how to run a server. He currently runs 2 servers by himself with like a whole team. It's amazing how far he's come. And I'm hoping, hopefully one day, ScarletMC becomes that big, because that's an attestament to his dedication and all that, and how dedicated I want to be towards it. But 2021, August 27, 2021, I was scrolling through YouTube. I saw this creator. His name was Text to Meme. Most people hearing that name on this video is gonna be like, oh wait, that was the meme guy, right? Yeah, that was the meme guy. I joined his server thinking, oh yeah, look at this. He just posted a Discord. Might as well. Memes, haha, funny, you know? That's what it was back in the day. And me and him started chatting, and I became moderator. Well, turns out his Discord server wasn't properly set up, and I was like, hey, I can do this stuff for you. So I became admin. I got admin role. I was able to help out. I fixed his entire Discord. And after a while, we started talking about Minecraft. I'm like, yeah, I play Minecraft. I do this. I've had servers I've helped moderate in the past. I had my own server, you know. And he's like, oh, cool. So I was like, okay, so are we gonna do this? He's like, yeah, well, I'll look into this and all that. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. So, let me see. But when we talked about it, we did a lot of like researching and all that. I'm like, we really need to do something and create a server. And we did. We created Memecraft, and that server was good. We had builders, we had like text to meme streaming the server pretty much on a weekly basis, and I, being the head admin at the time, pretty much set that entire server up myself because I was used to it. And this was in 2022 when we started doing plans about Memecraft. I did a bunch of research. I'm like, hey, text to meme, let's do this, this, and this, and we'll get the server set up. And he kind of turned the other way and was like, why don't we just find a hosting service? I'm like, okay, I'd rather just you buy this, it'd be cheaper and it'd be better to manage, but not my server, and I was not paying for it, so not my money. So I looked up a few hosting services. We wound up going with Apex Hosting, which they're not it was pretty reliable, to say. If reliable was on a 1 to 10 scale, and reliable being like a 3. But also expensive, because a 4 gigabyte server, and that's just disk space, was like $20 a month. And I'm like, huh? Why is it $20 a month? That makes no sense. Like $20 for 4 gigs. So I was like, okay, well, we just went with it. And I was like, okay, well, it's this amount. And he's like, yeah, that'll be fine. Let's just do it. I'm like, okay. Give me the, once you buy it, just give me the access to the admin panel, and I'll set up this entire server. So I got to it. I spent 2 days, I think it was, 2 or 3 days setting up the entire back end of that server, and we got it. And thus created apex.mc, that memecraft.co, because we didn't have the actual IP. We just used whatever Apex was providing. The sub IP was what it was called. I'm like, okay, well, that's a little weird that we're having to use a sub IP when we can just buy a main domain and just connect to it. But who cares? So we started advertising on his Discord, like, hey, we got this now. And like everyone started playing. We'd had like 15 at a time one time, but average was like 6 maybe. It was an average for the size of the server. So we do that, start managing. We got a small team together with some managers, or moderators, my bad. Me and like one other person was admins, and it was a nice little time. Well, we started doing other stuff, and we added in mini games. At the time, I'm like, okay, if we're gonna add this, we need to get another server. He's like, nah, it'll be fine. So we just started adding mini games into a 4 gig server. I'm like, okay, well, we're kind of maxing out the disk space for a 4 gig server. And I was like showing him all this, and eventually came around, which is good, because I was like, hey, we have only 4 gigs. We can't be running mini games that need a bunch of disk space just to even run it, even with the MySQL active as a backup support for all the data. I'm like, okay. So we bought a lobby server, proxy server, and another server. So I'm like, okay, we've done it. We have an entire network now, but we were still using the same IP, text to meme MC, that Apex, that Co. It's like, it was so weird. I'm like, okay, we need to get an IP. So I look up on, I think it was GoDaddy at the time that I looked it up. Hey, here's one. It's only $5. And we worked it together. I was like, hey, I will give you all the information for this on how to do it, because he would need to be the one to set it up, because I could not set that up because he was buying the domain. So I'm like, okay, well, here we go. We put in the request for all that, got that, and submitted everything. It took a little bit for it to finally get fixed, because it, like, half the stuff wouldn't connect right. I've had that issue for a while, and I've been setting up servers, like, for a couple people. And it happens. I don't know why there's, like, such a major delay with when you connect your IP of the main server that you're trying to connect to the domain IP. I don't know what's going on with, like, Cloudflare and why it takes, like, a little bit, but got it figured out. We started doing mini games. Next week would stream mini games. It was awesome. And I was like, all right, we're hyping everyone up. We got mini games going. We got seasons on survival, which I think we hit season like 3 on survival was the max. And we're like, yeah, we're doing good. And I'm like, I got a game idea. Let's do kit PvP. And he liked it. I'm like, okay, we'll buy another server, upgrade the first server for survival to 6 gigs, and then we're gonna add another server to the network. So we bought another 4 gig server, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get this started. And we had kit PvP. And excuse me. We started, like, setting everything up. I got, like, the ranks done. I got the kits and all that. And we released it. It was a hit. We had players on all the time. It was amazing. Well, I think mid 2023. Yeah, like, it was actually towards the end. Just looking at that, I'm looking up stuff while recording this as well. So if I, like, speak to myself about certain things, yeah, that's what I'm currently doing, because I'm trying to get as much facts as I can about this. So, like, towards the end of 2023, we were still doing pretty decently. It wasn't as much play because school was kind of doing still going at the time. We went in winter break for school, and some of the players had school and all that. And I told texted me, like, hey, we're going down a little bit, what should we do? And he's like, I think I'm gonna retire from streaming. I'm like, what? So he talked about retiring, and then after a bunch of discussion, he wound up closing all servers, shutting down the network, and ending the era of Memecraft. And that was the end of Memecraft. Some of the people on the Discord was upset, unfortunately, and there was nothing we could do. Like, I didn't know what to do at the time, because I was like, well, he just shut down the server. but he could have like transferred to me, and I could have revamped it to whatever, but he never did. So at the end of it, like December, I think it was, yeah, so around that time, I was also, while he was talking about like closing down Minecraft, I was also putting up my own server because the inevitable was coming. I was thinking to myself, get something posted up, that way we can do it. Well, I couldn't remember how to do some of the VPS stuff at the time, and Cloudflare was giving me troubles. So I'm like, okay, well, there's this guy, I am in his Discord, he hosts Minecraft servers. We'll do that. So, in the matter of a few months, opened up Minicraft.cc. I bought the actual name, or domain name, to be frank, Minicraft.cc, which, to be fair, worst IP name I could have ever came up with. There was no creative thought behind it. Like, I just went and took Memecraft. I'm like, oh, it's a smaller version of Minecraft. Minicraft. Then, no, it was awful. So, I wound up starting Minicraft. I started out with the original hosting of the one guy. I was in his Discord. I don't even remember what that hosting providing was. All I know, it was dreads. It was so bad. Like, they had really good rates. I think it was like $1 per gig, which that's not bad at all. In the grand scheme of it, it's not bad, but you kind of pay what you get, so it is what it is. And I was putting everything together, getting everything done. I had the IP, I had the server, and we released Minecraft. And that server lasted for a year-ish? Somewhere around a year. And I was like, okay, I'm not proud of this. The hosting is awful. And my manager, Subject Jim, came to me. He's like, hey, why don't we go to this hosting provider? They have really good rates. We can do it here. I'm like, oh, sweet. I can do that. And I went there. I saw the rates. I'm like, okay, we'll do that. Started doing, like, going in, like, looking at the prices, seeing what I want. And we took that provider and went with it. I was like, okay, we got this. Let's build a team. We built a small team. I think Jackweed, one of my other managers, was part of that original, like, team too. And then my admin, Nekon, he was part of that original team as well. And I had a small team put together. Let's see. Yeah. Well, Jackweed was a little after. Jackweed came in around the Minecraft, like the end of Minecraft era. Because looking at it, it was towards the end of Minecraft. Nekon was towards the beginning of Minecraft, but still admin, and so was Subject Jump. So we started doing all that, and I got all of it done. And some stuff happened in 2024 that I'm not too proud of, personally. So, into 2023, going into 2024, which was a big change, I announced to the staff that we are doing a name change because the .cc wasn't very secure at the time. I was getting like hate comments from people like, hey, this name we've had before, and this is not the same type of server. And I was like, oh, come on, really? So me and Jim put our heads together and we came up with the name ScarletMC.net. Much more secure, and I bought the domain and got everything set up. It was good. The beginning of 2024 was starting off good with a new server name and all that, and we were doing good. And then the inevitable happened, and I spoke about this in my video from my main channel. I was in a car wreck. The server completely fell off without me, so I was not paying the bill for the service. The IP dropped. Everything. I was out for months. It was crazy. I came back and I was like letting people know, hey, this was what happened to me. Sorry for being gone for so long, such and such. People understood. I was able to retrieve the IP, save the files from the old server, and come in with a new server. So I got a new server, we're getting back into things, and it was good. We got everything cleared out, got the server fixed, started out real strong, and now we're coming into present day, where just recently I bought a proxy, I have a lobby server, and Skyblock, which are my personal coded plugins, which amazing. There were some flaws at the beginning, but Skyblock is doing well now. Wish would have added more time. Some things couldn't stay because of bugs I couldn't fix at the time. I'm still working on that, but I got everything set into place. And we revamped the entire Discord to being the ScarletMC network. And this is the main timeline we are currently in. And thriving. Not as many players as it used to be. And there's definitely a giant drop-off on it. But I understand people's got school. Our player base is younger, like towards the middle school, and a little bit of was it freshman and sophomore year of high school type stuff. Like most of the admin team or management team, to be saying, me, Jim, and Jackweed are all adults. I have a job. I work a lot, so I'm usually not able to get on as much, but I've been trying to get as much playtime as I can with the players and all that. But we have a good team. We just recently got some good set of builders, and I'm hoping that one day ScarletMC will soon surpass my original server because there's potential here. And I just haven't figured out how to use the potential yet. Like I've used everything based on my past to do so, to get the server to where it should be. And I have such high standards on it, which is probably a downside of it, especially with me having such high standards for a server. But I think that the team we have on my server and the skills that we all have independently have made the server more than what it used to be. Like, I went from owning my first server, what, 3 years ago? 3 years ago, because we're in 2025. 3 years ago to owning another server. Like, it went from owning a server to help moderating servers to admin and developing another server to owning another server. And it's come full circle. It really has. Like, I would not ask for a better team than what I currently have. And it's awesome. I really am trying my best, and the management team as well, is to devise a plan to be able to put ScarletMC more out there. Like, I think what I will hopefully be doing in the future is paying for advertisements across some of the advertising servers to get our name out there more, so people see, hey, look at that server right there, they've been around for a little while, let me try them out, and hopefully they'll stay. And like what we have a store with ranks, perks, all kinds of stuff. Like, all of ScarletMC and my original server of Subvoid, well, 50% of Subvoid, actually, because I had a developer at the time, was created by me. I knew nothing about it when I first started. I knew nothing about coding. I knew nothing about developing a server. None of it. I had to learn. And that's what some people don't understand. I've had people in the past come up to me and say, how'd you do this? And how do I do this and do that? And I'm like, I'm trying my best to explain it to them, but I'm not going to give them everything, because you can't be taught everything at the same time of trying to do things yourself. You have to kind of figure things out, because that's what I had to do. Nowadays, there's videos, tons of them, just explaining how to do stuff, how to set up servers, how to do hosting, all that. There is a ton of information online about everything. And I'm just one person. I don't have all the information. Some stuff I'm still learning about. Like, I'm not perfect, and no one really is. But there is a ton of information people can go to figure out how to do their own things, to create their own servers. And that's what I've tried to explain to people in the past, but people just get mad at me. It's like, oh, well, you're just a bad owner and stuff. I'm like, how am I a bad owner for not giving you and handing you a server without any compensation or anything like that? Like, I'm not gonna build you an entire server just so you can have something and feel accomplished. I just don't believe in that, because I had to work from the ground up twice to get where I am now, and I have to appreciate everything that I currently have. But I apologize for that little tidbit about that, but that's just how I see things. But there is the entirety of the history of ScarletMC. And like I said, we've come a long way from my original server of Subvoid, which it was a good server. Loved it. To Memecraft, to Minicraft, changing into ScarletMC. It has become an entire adventure over the time from 2019 to 2025. Actually, no, that's 6 years, almost, give or take, because end of 2019, so give or take 6 years of just work and making sure things are put together correctly and learning how to do so much stuff on literally coding and developing an entire server by yourself. Some people just have the whiz of it. I'm not that kind of person. It takes me a little bit to understand things sometimes. I'm like, oh, well, this is broken. How do I do this? And I have to go read like a wiki guide. I'm like, oh, how does this work? And I'm like, oh, well, now I know that for the future, kind of thing. But that's pretty much it. Like, I started from Subvoid, and now we're here at ScarletMC, and I graciously appreciate every single one of my staff team members and everyone in my community that come on, give feedback, play, help out, and just make the server a community and make it what it currently is. And it's been an adventure. And I hope in the future that we come to the point where ScarletMC is one of those big servers. Like, I've seen servers hit in the thousands, and I've always dreamed of owning a server and doing stuff like that in the thousands of players. And it may take time, but that is something that me and my team will strive for, is making a server that is not only community based, but making it fun for everyone. But that's pretty much it. I have gave my entire story on the ScarletMC history from the beginning in 2019 all the way till now and going to the future. And I appreciate everything that everyone has done that led me to this point. And thank you all for listening to my very long rant. I am looking at my timestamp now, recording this. It's like a 40-minute rant. That is something else. But thank you all for listening in, and I will see y'all guys next time.